All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode. Today, I am talking about some extremely important stuff. I'm going to go into I'm talking about massive adoption of blockchain on a global level by many different countries. This is huge. I mean, you really have to take into consideration what is going on here. Sure, the price of Bitcoin has been stagnant and not moving much. You know, you see the memes of just, come on, Bitcoin, do something. And there is a lot going on in the back end that people don't realize. There's a global reset about to happen, and countries are preparing for that. So I'm going to talk to you about what's going on with that, some propaganda against decentralization, and at the end, I'm going to share some of my favorite altcoin picks with you, which I want to do a detailed video on. And I've been thinking about this for like a week and a half, 2 weeks, as you've probably seen on my last videos. But the fact is that I'm super busy, and I want to give you a good video on that with some details of why I'm looking at these coins. But today, you know, in the past week, these projects that I've been talking about or thinking about sharing with you guys have been just going up in value, and I would love to just at least share with you what I'm looking at, so you can do your own research in the meantime. And, you know, I'll give you a bit more of a breakdown in the coming videos. All right, let's dive into it. All right, guys, first up, and make sure to stay tuned to the very end because I'm going to show you some altcoins that you should be paying attention to. All right, so Beijing, 140 government services applications are using blockchain. Now, this isn't the kind of blockchain that gets me excited, but why it is important, and let me tell you first why it doesn't get me excited. Because it's not public, open, permissionless, censorship-resistant blockchain. This is government-controlled, private blockchain that may or may not be transparent. But what is important about it is that, first of all, 140 government services are using the blockchain. What this will do is it'll make the country much more efficient internally. Not maybe so good for the people, however, good for the government. So I just wanted to share that with you. This just got launched very recently, a couple days ago. Next up is South Korea. I'm going to read this because this is way crazier, right? So South Korea might soon be spending billions on blockchain development. President Moon Jae-in wants to allocate billions of dollars to strengthen the Industry 4.0 technology. The South Korean government plans to invest over $48.2 billion. That's $48.2 billion in blockchain and other Industry 4.0 technologies by 2025. The nation's goal is to promote the the nation's goal is to promote the digitization of all industries in the coming post-pandemic era. According to ZDNet Korea, President Moon Jae-in praised several benefits that the new industrial revolution could bring to the country. Moon elaborated. I think it's great that his name is Moon, too, by the way. The fourth industrial revolution and digital civilization are the future of humanity that has already begun. The national development strategy to advance in the trend is the Korean version of the New Deal. It is possible to jump from the older economy to the leading economy. Let me just say that again. This is the president who says the fourth industrial revolution and digital civilization are the future of humanity that has already begun, right? This began with Bitcoin 10 years ago, over 10 years ago, 11 now. Keep that in mind. Creating this is just good for countries. This is what I've been saying for years. Countries have an opportunity right now to get ahead of the curve. The first to adopt, the first to make their country friendly toward blockchain and crypto are really going to prevail at the end of the day. Countries like the United States, who are severely lagging behind and punishing these types of projects, are going to fall behind, and we're seeing that already. Andong, a city in Gyeongbuk province of South Korea, announced on July 7th that they have been granted a permit to operate a free trade zone for industrial hemp. They additionally announced that they would manage their operations through a blockchain-based platform. The nation's Ministry of Science and its National IT Industry Promotion Agency also started working on several blockchain proof of concept projects in 2019. They're doing hemp, they're doing blockchain, they're doing fintech. Korea is advanced. If you haven't, it's the South anyway, North, not so much. But if you haven't been to South Korea, it is crazy, right? Like the airport is insanely clean, super futuristic. And that's like, they love tech, and they've been heavy into blockchain and crypto for a very long time. So next one is something that is very near and dear to my heart. Hong Kong and Thailand complete digital currency prototype. Well, that's great news. I live in Thailand, and our companies are registered in Hong Kong. So that's cool. Two countries have created a prototype to send funds to one another using the blockchain. The Hong Kong Monetary Authority and the Bank of Thailand today announced that they have built a prototype for cross-border blockchain payment system. Project Inthanon Lion Rock. Inthanon. Like what kind of name is Inthanon? Lion Rock. Okay, that sounds cool. But Inthanon? Project Inthanon Lion Rock, which was completed in December, permits banks in Hong Kong and Thailand to send funds to each other via smart contracts. Cool. The system, which sets up cross-border corridor network between the two countries, was built on Corda R3's blockchain platform. It uses and Corda, if you don't know, is like a competitor to IBM Hyperledger Fabric. So it uses smart contracts. Okay, so it uses smart contracts to bundle fund transfers and foreign exchange transactions together, which a report accompanying the statement said it designed to enhance banks' foreign currency liquidity management. Our joint research project, the Bank of Thailand, marks an important first step to solve the pain points of low efficiency and high cost in traditional cross-border payments. It is ridiculous. There's been several instances in the past month where I was trying to send cross-border payments, and it was a nightmare. And these companies that aren't accepting crypto, like, I was just talking to this guy that I'm trying to send money to, and he needs me to wire him a transfer from a bank account to a bank account, a business bank account. And I couldn't do it because I'm not in the States, and the States wants me to go in and physically be in the branch in order for me to send a wire payment to a business from one of my business accounts. And it was just impossible. I was like, look, dude, if I could just send you a crypto payment, you can, I know that you don't really know how to do it yet, but I'm happy to teach you. And, in less than 5 minutes, you can set up a digital wallet on your phone. And 1 minute after that, you can have settlement of a payment that I sent to you, and we can get this whole thing done in 10 minutes. It's just so much easier. So Colin Powell, it sounds like Colin Powell, executive director of the HKMA, told a media briefing that a real transaction has yet to be completed, according to Reuters. Powell also said that the Monetary Authority has already determined that the city wouldn't use a state-issued digital currency for domestic payments. The prototype is solely for cross-border transactions. However, Thailand is creating a central bank digital currency that is rolling out already. They're already in the third stage. Next stage is for retail and the public. So I'm not sure how I feel about that. I'll have to look into it a bit more about what kinds of tracing and tracking and things like that they do with it. Because again, when you talk about central bank digital currencies, you're not talking about something like Bitcoin that is open, public, permissionless, decentralized, censorship resistant. You're talking about a basically centralized blockchain project that is made for surveying, tracking, tracing, pure control, really. So Yeah, though both Hong Kong's Project Lion Rock and Bank of Thailand Project Inthanon are set up to investigate the prospect of a central bank digital currency, the groups are separate. Hong Kong has set up its group in 2017, and Thailand set up its group in 2018. Cool. Check this out. Singapore's blockchain payments platform ready for commercial launch. So far we have South Korea, we have Hong Kong, Thailand, Singapore, China. Like we are onto something. Southeast Asia is booming for blockchain. There's a reason I want to set up House of DAO in Thailand. Fun fact for you also, Thailand was the first country in the world to set up an ICO and STO portal that would legalize STOs and ICOs. That is pretty awesome. Singapore authorities announced today that the blockchain payments project, Project Ubin, is complete and ready for commercial launch. The Monetary Authority of Singapore, or MAS, first undertook Project Ubin in 2017 with plans to first develop a digitized Singapore dollar, again, another central bank digital currency. The next steps involved exploring blockchain and distributed ledger technology to build a system for clearing and settlement of payments and securities using digital SGD. The final phase of the project, MAS worked in collaboration with Singapore-based investment company Temasek and the American investment bank JP Morgan. MAS had successfully completed the development of the payments network prototype in November 2019. The authority has since testing the system for ability to function smoothly with commercial blockchain applications. According to MAS official announcement, the payments network will provide an interface for other blockchain networks to connect and integrate seamlessly. This is interesting, right? So what kind of blockchain protocols could connect, and how would they connect, and how is interoperability? I don't know. There's not enough information here for us to understand that, but that does make it interesting, right? Among other use cases, the system will allow for faster and cheaper cross-border payments in multiple currencies, foreign currency exchange, and settlement of currency-denominated securities, reported Reuters. Leader in blockchain and crypto innovation. Last month, Ravi Menon, the managing director of the MAS, stated that the country was planning to work in close collaboration with China to experiment with a central bank digital currency. Apart from government-backed blockchain projects, Singapore's private sector is also booming with blockchain and crypto innovation. In the past 12 months, Singapore has seen a 50% growth in the number of blockchain companies across the country. Singapore is on fire. And with all the turmoil going on in Hong Kong right now, we are actually considering moving our company, Crypto Exchange Alliance, to Singapore. It's got better tax reasons. It doesn't have all this turmoil with China trying to take it over. It loves crypto and blockchain. It's not kind of skeptical on it like Hong Kong might be. So there's a lot of reasons that we are interested in moving that direction. Okay, there's not a whole lot of information on this one, PayPal, but PayPal is developing a cryptocurrency. Literally doesn't say much, so I'm not going to even read the story to you. But if you don't know, PayPal's original goal was something like blockchain. That's why some people kind of suspected that Elon Musk might be Satoshi. But this is interesting. PayPal was one of the members, the association members of Libra, Facebook's Libra, and they dropped out, and now they're developing their own project. So we don't have, like I said, there's not enough information, but this is huge. Like, if you haven't noticed, every single article I've talked about is massive, 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 massive. So if there's anybody out there who's wondering, like, is blockchain going to be developed? Is it going to take over? Like, hello. It is massive. Like, countries are adopting, like, everybody. I'm telling you, everybody is starting to get on this train. It is no longer a question of if. It is just when everything switches over. And that will be done country by country, project by project, person by person. And guess what? Bitcoin is the king, the original cryptocurrency, the only one that's super decentralized, that's resistant to state nation attacks. If that doesn't set off alarm bells and pictures of moons and bulls in your head, I don't know what else will. Guys, Bitcoin has an incredibly finite supply, and it will be held by everybody. It is permissionless, censorship resistant. It is decentralized. It is immutable. It is such a strong protocol. I mean, I'm sure you may or may not have seen other different channels talking about the adoption from mining, but it is crazy. I mean, there is so much mining power right now securing the blockchain network that it is insane. Like the Bitcoin blockchain, it actually sorry, Carl just walked up. The Bitcoin blockchain actually occupies more power than most countries in the world. And a lot of people are being, oh, that's not very green, blah, 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 blah. But 70% of it or so is all from renewable energy. And that will change to nearly 100% over time because the most efficient miners make the most money and ultimately will survive. It encourages efficiency. And the cheapest way to mine Bitcoin is using renewable energy. So that's not an argument anymore, suckers. Right, moving on. Research suggests STOs are better at financing startups than ICOs. Propaganda like a motherfucker. This is bullshit. And like, okay, depends. Okay, well, let me rephrase that. Depends what kind of startups you're talking about, right? So if you're looking at starting a company that has profit and loss and rewarding shareholders, then yes, an STO is better for funding that type of project. But if you're trying to build a decentralized open protocol that has token economics and you want it to be disruptive and interesting, then you should probably go the ICO route, right? Because where an STO, especially if it has equity behind it, it probably doesn't have the same type of incentive mechanisms as an STO that is based on security laws and securities and shareholders and things like that. So in utility tokens and token economics incentivize people in the network that hold tokens to do what's best for the economy. It has game theory built into it, right? STOs don't have that. So this article is incredibly misleading. But I'll read a little bit about it, right? So Thomas Lambert, Daniel Liebau, and Peter Rosenboom from the Rotterdam School of Management suggest that security token offerings are better at financing startups than initial coin offerings. Their research was published on July 14th via the University of Oxford Business Law blog. The research paper pointed out that although ICOs and STOs are both issued on distributed ledgers, the idea behind an ICO is value creation for commodity. Utility tokens in ICO it can only grant holders with consumptive rights on services or products and cannot be seen as financial mechanisms or financing mechanisms. However, STOs can. Researchers explain that tokens issued in an STO are investment products with usually confer cash flows rights to investors and in some cases also voting rights. An STO is thus specifically designed to finance startups, whereas an ICO aims at funding an organization but does not include its financing. So these guys are talking about regulation, securities, and if you're going to particularly be involved in trying to make sure that you're abiding by securities laws within the United States. Like my suggestion to everybody is just do an ICO or just create a token, make it have actual value, and just get the hell out of the United States. The United States is just a dangerous place. Like that's why I left there like 3-4 years ago because I am doing disruptive things and I'd rather do it in a jurisdiction that is not going to be watching me like a hawk and coming after me if I do something disruptive, right? So I just suggest that everybody go to a location, domicile yourself somewhere that's more crypto friendly and doesn't think ICOs are evil, right? And on that note, just so people know, like ICOs got a very bad reputation in 2017. However, like one of the things that I want to work on, if someone doesn't create it before I eventually do, and if you do, please go feel free-headed to run with this idea. Just like I'm happy to advise you on it or whatever. Vitalik created something called a DICO, right? Decentralized Autonomous ICO. And the idea is pretty good. I'm not going to really dive into the details, but if anyone's interested in it, creating it, doing it, working on it, knows anybody who's doing it, like wants to reach out to me for some advice or whatever, kind of I've taken the idea from Vitalik and kind of modified it a little bit toward the way I think it should be done. But really, the point of a DICO is essentially to have some type of governance control mechanism where a project can't just raise a ton of money all at once and then it goes all to them at the same time, and then we just have to trust that they're going to like properly allocate that money and that they're going to use it wisely, right? So a DICO has some more controls where the funds can be locked in a smart contract and released to the project over time as they hit milestones or on a tranche basis, something like that. Far better way to do an ICO. And so ICOs aren't evil, right? Evil people stole money doing ICOs and basically used it as like a lot of people just were poor business operators, poor ideas, good marketing, but bad execution, things like that. Right? But that's also true in the startup world, right? 9 out of 10 startups fail. Anyway, I can go on and on and on about this. All right. So, guys, stay away from things like Coinbase, and stay away from things that like are working with law enforcement, and retain your right to privacy, and be a be a revolutionary, Okay, so U.S. Department of Homeland Security buys analytics software from Coinbase. Coinbase is selling its blockchain analytics software to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security and the U.S. Secret Service. Following criticisms from the crypto community, CEO Brian Armstrong defended Coinbase's position, which is a shitty defense. Coinbase is selling analytics software to U.S. government. Public records on the U.S. government's website reveal that San Francisco-based crypto exchange Coinbase has signed a contract with the U.S. government for its blockchain analytics software. The records were first spotted by The Block. The contract awards the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. The contract awarded by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security was signed on May 9th. It went into effect the next day with a tentative end date of May 11th, 2024. The obligated amount is currently $49,000, and the potential award amount is $183,750. The contracting agency is U.S. Secret Service, a federal agency that investigates monetary crimes such as fraud and counterfeiting. It was transferred from the Department of Treasury to the Department of Homeland Security on March 1st, 2003. Listen, even if Coinbase is awarded this whole $183,750, that is nothing for Coinbase. They make that in probably a matter of hours. So this is bullshit, right? So there is some other thing going on here which isn't being told to the public. I don't know exactly what it is, but maybe there is some type of pressure from U.S. government to work with them. I don't know. It is a sellout to me. Like, I don't know. I just felt like anyone who was in crypto as early as Brian Armstrong, for example, would have. I mean, everyone I talked to back in those times, 2012 and 13, everyone got excited because it was a revolution. It was independence. It was free of government control, and this is completely ass backwards. Following the Coinbase selling its analytics software to the U.S. Secret Service, many people took to Twitter to criticize the company's action, with some urging others to delete Coinbase, saying that the company is bad for Bitcoin and crypto, which is true. But on the other end, the one thing I will say is that Coinbase has enabled a ton of people, especially in the United States, to start acquiring Bitcoin. It is a very, very, very user-friendly platform. That's like PayPal, for example, that just can allow anybody to kind of go and acquire Bitcoin using their fiat or bank accounts or whatever. So, I mean, it's a double-edged sword here. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong quickly defended his company's decision. Blockchain analytics software is nothing new, has been around for a long time. It uses publicly available data and try to track crypto transactions, usually to catch bad actors, he tweeted. But not always. Sometimes just to track people that the IRS wants money from. That's often the case. Now, if we had a world where taxes led to transparent uses, then maybe I wouldn't be so against this. Armstrong proceeded to explain that his company started off by using some of the existing blockchain analytics services out there. This worked out okay, but the issue with that is that we don't like sharing data with third parties when we can avoid it, and they didn't support all the features and chains we needed. So we realized at some point we would need to bring the capability in-house. The CEO described, elaborating, it's expensive to build this capability and we want to recoup costs. There's an existing market for blockchain analytics software, so we sell it to a handful of folks as well. It also helps us build relationships with law enforcement, which is important to growing crypto. Not really. Last month, it was reported that Coinbase wanted to sell its analytics software to two other U.S. government agencies, the DEA, which is Drug Enforcement Agency, and the IRS, Internal Revenue Service. Meanwhile, the company reportedly planning initial public offering in the United States. Okay, let me start off by saying I am a shareholder of Coinbase, right? So this says something. If I'm saying they suck, and I invested a lot of money very early on in Coinbase, yeah. Anyway, this is huge, terrible, awful news. Again, the U.S. government agencies like the Drug Enforcement Agency and the IRS, right? So if you believe in free market economies like I do, the DEA is bad. And if you believe that taxes are corrupt and evil, then also the IRS is bad. So this is bad all in all. Moving on. Next up, the SEC killed ICOs. DeFi could be next. Yep. It wasn't just the SEC. It was also a lot of propaganda, like I talk about, from central banks, the globalists, elitists, whatever you want to call it, people who run the world by the power of the US dollar. They were threatened by decentralization, right? And like I said before in other videos, in 2018, this message started to propagate the industry. The message was ICOs are dead, STOs are the new thing. And what that means that basically, like you can build a token however you want it to do. You can make a utility token that's not a security token that also would fall under security laws, but it could represent the same purpose. So basically, a security token is just another token like that could be identical to a utility token or an ICO. However, it just means that you need to ask for permission and pay taxes. Whoopee, right? So imagine if Bitcoin had asked for permission and pay taxes, it would be PayPal today. Boring. This article, like it talks about Abra and what happened with them. They had to pay a little fine, and they should have because they're a U.S.-based company and they were selling securities, like all this stuff. So that makes sense. It really doesn't go hand in hand with the article. When we talk about DeFi could be next, you have to take some things into consideration, right? So where is the DeFi project founders located? Again, get the hell out of the United States. Exclude Americans from participating. Force innovators to go to countries that are supportive and not destructive. It is just like, this is the first thing that people can do. If you want to build something awesome, get the hell out of the United States and go somewhere that's supportive, like Singapore, like Hong Kong, like Malta, like Estonia, like Luxembourg, like Switzerland, like Liechtenstein, like Portugal. Go to places that are supportive. Hell, even Wyoming in the States is doing something better. At least if you're going to be in the States, go to Wyoming. So, and then one other thing that this article talks about, again, I'm not going to read it, but it talks about the fact that that these protocols need to sufficiently decentralize in order to not be targets of the SEC, right? So, just get the hell out of the States, domicile somewhere that you're not going to be persecuted, and block Americans until you're sufficiently decentralized, and then boom, problem solved. Ta-da, easy. Next up, guess what? CV Labs, which is a huge incubator and very, very big fund out of Switzerland. CV Labs signed strategic partnership with Thailand-based House of DAO. Yeah. Let's read this article off to you. CV Labs Switzerland announces a strategic relationship with House of DAO, a blockchain smart village located along the scenic beaches of Copenhagen, Thailand. The international partnership will connect the respective partners' ecosystem members, thereby providing startup access to facilities and networks offered by both hubs. This access will foster the connection of the startups with investors, corporations, legal and financial professionals, and a range of service providers on a global level. Kyle Chassé, who's that? Founder of House of DAO, stated, "We are honored to be partnering with CV Labs, which is actively working on the blockchain incubation business globally from Switzerland. Halfway across the globe, we are working on global blockchain incubation and understand the power of collaboration. It is always powerful when one team has a massive network, which we do, but it's exponentially more powerful when multiple teams with diverse networks come together in a symbiotic relationship. We're looking forward to expanding our presence in Europe through this new partnership and hope that we can help CV Labs expand their presence in Southeast Asia, where we have a strong network. The two hubs will collaborate on various initiatives to expand their global network within the blockchain industry. The initiatives will range from co-organization events, talks, seminars, and training programs and mentorship." Nikolai Renbold, Ecosystem and Incubation Manager, CV Labs, states, "The House of DAO is building an amazing place so that blockchain entrepreneurs can prosper in a like-minded environment. This will attract young entrepreneurs as they love to travel and work remotely. I think it is crucial to provide startups opportunities to leverage other regional ecosystems so they can grow and flourish most efficiently. The goal of partnership in a nutshell, helping startups to set foot in both ecosystems, have access to investors, a place to work abroad, and the possibility to connect with the local industry. Startups have the possibility to apply for blockchain dedicated incubator or startup training programs in the two regions, giving investors access to projects out of their ecosystem to get to know other funds, giving firsthand insight to the companies about upcoming events with access to sponsoring opportunities. The two hubs will co-create new projects such as events or similar to build a bridge between the two ecosystems." About House of DAO. Located in the beautiful island of Copenhagen, Thailand, House of DAO is an exclusive blockchain and emerging technology startup village offering co-working and co-living space, incubation, and acceleration. Launching in Q4 2020, House of DAO brings together the brightest minds in blockchain to develop the world's most disruptive solutions in an international community environment that stimulates entrepreneurship, lifestyle, and personal growth. Designed and built by co-working aficionados in blockchain who have called Copenhagen their home for years. A complete turnkey solution for entrepreneurs and teams. Oh, wait. Nice. CV Labs is a blockchain dedicated ecosystem, business, and co-working space in CVVC with more than 150 startups registered across its premise in Zug, Switzerland, which is also Blockchain Valley. Excuse me. Woo! The co-working hub offers a variety of services such as incubation for early-stage startups, excubation service for corporate clients, blockchain and entrepreneurship, education modules, events, and content marketing aimed at positioning blockchain companies within the ecosystem, and advisory services with an aim to help blockchain companies set up shop in the crypto valley and beyond. Awesome. Cool. And almost lastly, right? The hints on the altcoin projects are coming up, but I just wanted to point out something not really crypto related, but awesome related. So the next generation of Purism Linux laptops is on the way. So this company, Purism, Carl, come say hi, Carl.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, I'm making a video right now.
Hey, man.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Hello.
Hello.
What's up?
The next generation of Purism Linux laptop is on its way. So Purism is a really cool company that is completely focused on creating open source hardware and software from the ground up or the kernel up. And they have the most awesome hardware devices, laptops, little portable computers, and mobile phones. The laptops actually have hardware kill switches that can turn off and on the power to things like the radio devices, like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and also the camera. Hi, Carl. So you can actually set up you can actually turn the camera on or off too, so you don't have to put that little slidey thing in front of the thing. Anyway, it really awesome. And really they've been getting so good at usually if you buy a Linux-based laptop, it's old, clunky, and ugly. But they've been really good at making very modern, up to like I love that this one looks amazing. So anyway, yeah, like just not sponsored or anything. I just love Purism laptops, and they have a cell phone as well. I think this is really important for crypto, right? If you want to protect your like the ultimate anti-hack device or security-enabled device, extremely important. So if you're serious about your crypto and you want a privacy-protecting laptop, check out Purism. All right, and last up, look. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through these. Again, I haven't done a thorough analysis on these. I have bought some of them. I haven't bought some of them yet. And I haven't bought into the ones that I have bought into with as much as I'd like to. I'm kind of just testing the waters of some of them, right? So Kasha is like a bank, and I don't really know what they're doing, but they are on my radar, and I'm going to look into it deeper. I just know that we tried to apply as for a bank account there, I believe. So BZX protocol, BZRX, this has gone up tremendously today. I spotted it 2 days ago. It's already gone up almost 60% since then. It is new, has a small market cap of 40 million still. I highly suggest checking this out. It has a lot of great partnerships and opportunities. Energy Web Token, I learned about this from Chico Crypto. The guy does some really good research, and I think there's a lot of potential in this. I know they have some partnerships with some huge French energy companies, things like that. Cardia Chain. Cardia Chain is a team, core team of 4 people, all from ex-Google. They I believe they have a partnership with the government of Vietnam. Yeah, they are going to kill it. It is a really good opportunity right now with a small market cap of only $8.3 million. I got some of this a couple days ago, or yesterday, I believe, and it's already up 27.7%. I haven't looked into this very much, into DMM governance, but it is very hyped, very strong partnerships, and a relatively small market cap of just $50 million. So there's a lot of room for potential upside on this right now. As you can see, the past 30 days, it's been doing nice, sturdy, not crazy growth, but solid growth. Ocean Protocol, I've been hearing about this, reading a little bit about it. Has some strong partnerships, and market cap is almost 40 million. So a lot of room for growth here. Yeah, I will check it out some more. Kusama has come across my desk quite a bit. I've been talking to a lot of different projects, and one or another has mentioned Kusama. I've read about it and other things. So I believe it is also up and coming, as the partnerships look pretty insane. Market cap is still small at 62 million. Cosmos is all over the place. It's not a small market cap, but I think it's a very strong project. And I'll get into a bit deeper. Synthetics is basically creating derivatives and other investment opportunities on a decentralized protocol. It is a hard market cap of 366 million. Yeah, I don't know about that as far as an investment opportunity. Loopring also has it's very popular also in DeFi. Again, I haven't done much research. Elrond, okay, I will start off by saying that Elrond, I was an advisor on Elrond. We did token economics, monetary, and fiscal policy. And I'm good friends with the team. And so I have invested significantly in Elrond, and I do hold a significant amount of tokens. But it has been amazing to watch these guys climb through the ranks, now at number 54. And I think that this has a ton of room to grow. You know, basically, as we see things like Ethereum failing to scale, we are seeing a lot of room. Ethereum fees are insane right now. I bought some BZRX yesterday and the day before. I was paying crazy fees for these transactions, crazy, because the Ethereum network is overloaded and it's not scaling, and scaling has been pushed back and pushed back and pushed back, right? So I'm still a believer in Ethereum, and I still believe that they will do well. However, right now, projects are trying to take off, and this is leaving a lot of opportunity. Like, if Ethereum had managed to scale by now, I would be super skeptical on anyone trying to challenge Ethereum. But right now, I'm very open to anyone trying to challenge Ethereum, because Ethereum is doing like 15 transactions per second. Elrond is doing 10,000 transactions per second. And they have a very, very good consensus mechanism. Secure proof of stake, and Yeah, it's an awesome project. They're getting into DeFi. It's a protocol you could build apps on. It's already up and running. Well, mainnet is coming this month, and it has an excellent team, very strong partnerships, and uh, I get constant updates about Elron. Like not because I'm following them necessarily, but when I look at something like Blockfolio and I'm looking at news, I mean Elron is up there like 2-3 times a day sometimes. Amazing project. Thorchain, I'm also an early investor in Thorchain. Very early, I've had put my investment into this a long time ago, but I think they're doing some incredible things. Market cap is still under 100 million at $80 million. So there's a lot of room for Thorchain to grow. They're working on interoperability and liquidity pools for decentralized protocols, which I think is absolutely critical. When you talk about interoperability between protocols and liquidity for decentralized finance, both critical. Thorchain has a very good team, a very interesting project where a lot of the founders are semi-anonymous. And I'm a big believer in this one as well. Balancer is new, very, very, very new. And it has had quite the price reduction in the past week, which is a nice buying opportunity. I think when it came out, it was like $16 or something. And the day after is at 14, and it's kind of finding its price equilibrium right now. Swissborg has pulled back a bit. It pulled back under 100 million. A lot of people are talking about Swissborg. I haven't done a deep dive into it, so I'm not going to say yay or nay on it yet. At this point, it's just on my radar. One more that I haven't discussed that I've been reading about a lot since yesterday is this one Ampleforth. Now, again, this is something I bought into about a year ago, and it has it has been doing extremely well lately. It is a very, very complicated protocol. It is a monetary system that has a contracting and expanding supply. So it makes it a bit confusing as it's different than every other altcoin, whereas the circulating supply and total supply varies based on the price. So I've been invested in this a year. It has a really strong team. But I really didn't do a ton of deep due diligence on understanding the way the protocol works until yesterday. I started reading a lot about it, and it's extremely interesting. I think I'll do a separate video on it altogether. Anyway, guys, like I just wanted to show you some of these altcoins that I've been looking at because it might be a little while before I can do a video on them or all of them. And I don't, and since I started thinking about doing this like 2-3 weeks ago, this video on altcoins and which ones I'm looking at, and there are more too. We have seen prices go up a lot, and I just want to make sure that you guys have an opportunity to check out what I'm checking out, do your own research, and make your own decision. But these are some things that I'm looking at. I would love to hear your comments on what you're looking at, what you're bullish on, what you think is going to be a good opportunity. Please share your thoughts below in the comments. Guys, like, subscribe, hit the bell. And please, if you would, share with your friends. It would mean a ton to me. Yeah, thank you so much, you guys. Right now, we are doing starting literally in 4 minutes, we're doing a crypto crypto meetup / pool party here at my villa, and sponsored by House of DAO. And we're excited to get to that. So I know that we can bring you some video based on a video of this event here shortly. And guys, like Thailand is amazing. It's beautiful. What we're doing here is amazing. You know, it is an amazing place to be. If conferences add so much value, and what we're building essentially at House of DAO is a 24/7, 365 conference where you can gain value from everybody in this environment all the time. Collaboration. You know, you've got mentors around. You've got so much opportunities. We do incubation, and we have access to funds, and a lot of industry veterans, a lot of crypto influencers are here. Like you just saw Carl. So guys, yeah, if you're interested in participating in House of DAO right now, we're actually just looking at token economic models, how we're going to design the House of DAO token, and we're going to do it right, obviously. So it's all very, very exciting. I would encourage you guys to check it out. Follow me on Twitter for all of the latest updates. It's just at Kyle Chasse or Kyle_Chasse, CHASSE. Yeah, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube. Our Master Ventures community chat on Telegram is interesting to join. It's small right now, but let's grow it up and start talking about cool things. And yeah, guys, I hope you have a good day wherever in the world you are, a good night. Always a pleasure talking to you, and I will catch you guys soon. Bye-bye.